To begin, this is the story of love. Love is creation. Love creates creation. Love of the all is the reason everything exists. Love. This is a story about love. So I'm going to explain to you the story of our planet. In doing that, it's all about love. The love for a child and parent go beyond time and space itself. Okay? So, love is what brought me to Earth. Love is what drives me to inform you this information. My love for all humans is why I will sit here with a straight face and tell you this and say, this is how it is. I know, crazier than fiction, but this is it. This is how it works. This is what makes things this is how the energy flows. Okay, let's say that. This is how the energy flows. The 7 principles, vibration, mentalism, correspondence, cause and effect, gender, polarity. I knew I was gonna. The minute I said that, I'm like, I'm gonna blow this. The 7. Mentalism, correspondence, gender, polarity, cause and effect, rhythm, and rhythm, and vibration. Each one of these principles connect to a day. Each day connects to a Lord. I mean, these are the people that made these things. So they want credit, they get credit. But are they going to do anything for us? I mean, you might acknowledge them and have good energy, but other than that, I mean, there's really not a whole lot. It's just how it is. Then we have 7 senses. We have 7 colors, by the way. 7 scents, 7 colors, 7 principles, 7 days. This is how the earth works. This is how the earth works. So these 7 principles or 7 primary senses also have 7 sense beings of their own. So that's what makes the 49 sense beings. And then there's 5 elements along with sun and moon. Saturday and Sunday are sun and moon, but there's an element to each day of the week, Monday through Friday. These elements deserve more attention. So we'll go back to the love. So when I talk about love, and this is all of what this is how things work. So my love for my mother in my last galaxy, Andromeda, is what brings me to Earth. We'll talk about that when we get to my timeline and my higher self. But first, we need to talk about the dimensions and how we are created. So, again, a love for a parent and a child. So I came to the planet from the love of my mother, who is Mother Earth. And I came long before humans did, or long before Lumerians did. I came during dinosaurs. Then there is my first incarnation as a human being with those people. We'll talk about that in the timeline. And then this is technically my second incarnation because I have spent all this time in the 17 dimensions. Okay? We'll talk about that, what I do or did in the timeline. Here we need to explain to you the 17 dimensions. I've got it all spelled out over here, but I have a chart, which I guess I could. I don't want to put it up for you guys because it glares. But my chart is like a little cheat sheet for me to explain because it's a circle. Okay, so Earth has matter. That's what makes us. Then Maki has instinct, and that's a reaction that produces something. Anything that reacts to you or to something that you do or say is your instinct. Haume is emotion, and that's broken up into 3: the brain, the spine, and the nervous system. The brain is you get emotions and thoughts from people around you within a mile radius that aren't always yours. You have to discern that. The spinal column is the one that's connected to the chakras, which are 15 chakras, by the way, that goes through all 9 galaxies from Earth, all 9 galaxies up to the galactic cluster, the universal cluster, and then the all. So, yeah, dudes, way more than 7. The nervous system is connected to the 49 sense beings and the 5 elemental beings to communicate with you about your body and everything that's going on. The 4th dimension is Mercury, mind. That's mentalism and thought. That's where these things are created. Pluto holds heart will in the 5th dimension, which the further away from unconditional love you are, the worse things get for your higher. So every action that you do on this planet does affect a higher self in the continuum, who does get affected by you and changes where they work and where they live by how you act in free will on the planet. That is true. All because the further you are from heart will, the denser you get, you can't be with the lighter people. It's just how it is in the continuum. So know that what you do with anger and division and all that is causing problems for you. Your higher self can help you in the continuum. That's the magic, the miracles, and all that go on. But that's because it's the energy that's allowed to flow, because the energy wasn't stopped from flowing. Okay, that's Pluto with the heart. So Saturn is ancestral memory. Okay, this is where you need to be using discernment, because in the ancestral memory, this is where the ancestral memory is where you all the information that you learned from your parents and their illusional stuff. So you need to realize, and to people who are having babies right now, hey, you need to learn from your children. Your children teach you what's not illusionary. So when children come out purely loving everything, that's the truth. We're supposed to love everything. We're never supposed to eat meat. And when I woke up in September of 2023, I was eating meat. I freaked out. I panicked. When I realized, I went through a serious 2 years of emotional, waking up. So awakening isn't easy. It's some of the hardest things you're ever going to do. Then on the 7th dimension, that is time mechanics. Time only moves forward. That's the lesson here. And in time mechanics, everything we're doing on Mars right now in this dimension of matter is affecting the 7th dimension. We have no right. We need to stop attacking Mars and leave Mars alone. Lord only knows what you're doing to that dimension. Ceres holds the dimension of law, which is the 8th dimension. That holds the 7 principles and nature, all the laws of nature. And then we've got, here's ours, the 9th dimension. This is our soul voice. It is located in the 13 zodiacs, because you're one of the 13 zodiacs. I am Ophiuchus, and I've got that. We'll go back here. So we have 13 zodiacs. Mars, Aries, used to be the first month. Then there was Venus, Taurus, Mercury, Gemini, Earth, Cancer, Ceres, Leo. These are the dates. I have them on AtlanteanLove.com. We were supposed to be 13 months with 28 days with 1 day to reset for Earth, because we're supposed to be thinking about her all the time. Saturn, Libra, Uranus, Scorpio, Neptune, Sagittarius, Pluto, Ophiuchus, Haume, Capricorn, Maki, Aquarius, Aries, Pisces. But the first of the year is March 21st. So yeah, that Gregorian people really did mess us up on that. But anyway, so our soul voice, this is where your higher self is at while you're incarnated. So on the 9th dimension, this is where you're held. But on the 9th dimension, there are also 21 different densities of lifestyle. So if you're running around angry, your higher self's living in a hell. There's no other way to put it. If you're being greedy and envious, your higher self's living in a purgatory. If you are the just, principled, righteous, considerate, unconditional love, your higher self's in heaven where it's supposed to be. So you're doing good. This is what this is about. So when your higher self is up in the higher dimension, in higher up, lighter, less dense, then they can help you on earth to send you energies. But if your energies are worry and negative in the illusion, then anything they send to you is not going to flow to you. It's going to go to the people that know this information, who sit around in a love bubble, who get everything, called billionaires. Their lives aren't hard. No, they've designed it this way because we were hijacked in 3500 CE elites, killed off their people. They couldn't reproduce anymore. They decided they wanted to tongue dump back, tell the elites, yeah, you need to stop marrying your brothers and sisters. You're going to lose or cousins. You're going to lose your chance to have babies. So they came back and said, hey, every now and then, grab a poor person, bring them in, and keep that DNA going. So yeah, we know. And they came back to 22 BCE. They created religion. They created politics. They created everything that creates division. Period. If it divides, it's wrong. That's it. Period. Okay. So that's where our higher self is. Get with the love space. Put your higher self in a better life. Give yourself a better life for you. You can choose how you see things. Free will is not information being thrust upon you. Free will is not memorizing a Bible. Anything written by man is skeptical. You need to go into it with discernment. If it doesn't resonate, it's not for you. My truth is not the same as your truth. In fact, my truth is nobody else's truth because I'm a witness. That's why I can come forward with all this information, because I watched. When I get done with this, I'll explain to you what this spiral was. Okay? So then you got Uranus, who has the flame memory, and that's where ideologies and philosophies lie. That's where everybody that claims to channel, that comes out with ideologies and philosophy, Socrates, Aristotle, all of them, all that is going back to the way things were in Atlantis. I could talk about Atlantis. I remember Atlantis. Like I said, this is my second incarnation, and you always remember your last incarnation better than any of the others. It's the reason why I've only incarnated twice. In my first incarnation, all I did was study for the entire time in order to come back to do this, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. So Aether, that's the star lineage. That's the 11th dimension. Now, the Aether in star lineage, it holds the Milky Way, Andromeda, Arcturian, Minetakan, Pleiadian, Lyrian, Sirian, Vegan, and Orion. This is the connection everybody has to our home galaxies. Earth is a maj-paj. Everybody leveled up in those galaxies, and they've come here. Yes, we are all advanced beings. Every one of us, so advanced. I can't wait till you wake up and realize it and start remembering things, because then you'll change the whole world. I know this. Then the 12th dimension is astral realm. The astral realm is very interesting because that's divine dream. And that 12th dimension, every human being visits. So when they talk about near death or people dying and no, you're not dying and going to the continuum. You're dying and you're going and you're sitting in the astral realm until they bring you back. In the astral realm, you can go to sleep and visit it, daydream, astral project, trip, or I always say comas. Comas are living in there. They can still hear everything that's going on this earth. Just because you're in the astral realm does not disconnect you from the earth. It's part of Earth. In fact, the astral realm is located in the little barrier just between lower Earth orbit and I guess it's up Earth orbit, I guess you would say. And then, I knew this. I had to turn off ACs because it's so loud in here. Okay, so that is the astral realm, the dream. People go there all the time. But I'm going to warn you, if you go there by a trip, so when you're tripping, you're basically saying to anybody out there, an archon, a dark angel, or a light angel, hey, come get me and take me through the astral realm the way you want to. Hence, bad trips on some people, good trips on some. You're really doing a crapshoot. You can go to the astral realm on your own as long as you do the work in unconditional love for yourself and unconditional love for all beings. And when I talk about all beings, seen and unseen, known and unknown, animate and inanimate, this computer is a bunch of beings in another dimension to help make this happen for us. This is all about energy and manifestation. Even though we do physical work, yes, physical work is what it takes in order to manifest the energy. That's what this is all about. Everything is logistics. Venus is death and resurrection in the 13th dimension, and this is where your soul contracts begin and end. This is where you signed up for everything that's happened to you in your life. And when I heard that, I screamed, I cursed. I was like, oh, F you. What do you mean? And then they showed me, and I was like, oh, oh, yeah, I was really cocky. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, dude. Yeah, I could take that. Yeah, I could take that. We didn't think when we were doing our soul contracts. We were cocky. We were like, yeah, we got this. We'll show you. Oh, you want to throw that at me? Give me 2 more of them. Yes, ego can be in the other continuum too. It's why it's not good. It does change. You change the dimension of you here. You change the dimension of you there in that dimension. Okay, in ninth, and right when you're incarnated, you're in the ninth dimension. Outside of incarnation, when you leave here and you're no longer incarnated, you will have a job in one of the other 16 dimensions to assist the planet. Jupiter, galactic memory. This is the 14th dimension. This is where people go to reach the Akashic records. And if you learn how to actually do things right, you can reach your own Akashic record, but you can't reach others. This is where I don't believe in mediums. They're cold reading, they're not hot reading, because they can't. All they can do is talk to their higher self in the ninth dimension. Their higher self could talk or have hearsay about them in that dimension, and then they can come give you information because everybody's in the ninth dimension together, but it's still hearsay. It's still telephone tag information when you go through a psychic or a medium. You need to use tarot cards yourself. Tarot cards just make you think on the thought that you're doing. That's all it does. And that is a way for them to connect to you. That is something that was given to us. I want to say playing cards can also, but I use a bigger deck than that, so it doesn't work in my brain. But some people say that you can. I'm not in for you buying things. So I have a tarot that was given to me because I did have some information sent to me through the divine, and we've got it up. And I've got it up there for you. And that's a good tarot. It's a free tarot. Just go to numerology and tarot, and it's free. You can use it every day, use it over again, whatever you want. I'm not going to charge. Again, I have all this information. I am the one to bring this information, therefore it has to be free. Do you understand how much I would be breaking rules and laws if I didn't bring this to you unconditionally with love? So in the 14th dimension, the Akashic record, it is only for this current timeline. They can't pull from the other timelines. I can, because my incarnated father of this life, when he passed, he became guardian of it because that was going to be his job, because I needed to access it because of who I am. We'll talk about that in the actual when I get to the timeline. Okay. So so I had to, because I know 2012 or 2009, 2012, and I want to say 2016, the time jump, we time jump with CERN. CERN's a problem. CERN, the elites used a CERN on the dark side of the moon to time jump, and that's why everybody wants to go to the moon, because there's remnants of that, because we are in the Satya Yuga. I'll show you that in the timeline, and the elite grays have now all passed, except for the, oh, they had 2. Yeah, they have 2 on life support, but the Greys' souls aren't there, so all they have are the bodies, so it doesn't count. Doesn't matter. So the elites are past. Moon in unity, that's the 16th dimension. That's where the collective energy is. That's why everybody at full moon, you love that. Yeah, because the collective energy is right there. And that collective energy is what been, kind of, if you're praying to God, then you are helping the elites. Uh, if you're believing in the moon and doing your rituals for the moon, that's different. You're actually assisting the collective in the moon. So yeah, there's that. Then the sun, that's Divine Pymander's chamber. And Divine Pymander is the one that all the archangels and angels, when you get into the continuum, you praise the energy, because all of this leads to giving the energy to the sun, so the sun can in turn create the life on earth. That's what brings us back to the avatar in matter. So the collective energy helps to feed the sun, and the sun feeds us. So everything in this is all to create matter, and this is us. And when I say that we are a Maj Paj, this is where we're going to go down the timeline, and now we're going to go down what I guess people would say the creation story. I don't consider it a creation story. I think it just happened. Okay, so we're going to go down the timeline. We're not going to talk about me. So, 100,000 million years ago, there was 14 planets. And a call was given to my mother, and it was the end of my world. Anyways, and she was taken from Andromeda, and she was sent as a dragon. Andromedans are dragons. So we were a dragon, and then when she came here, she came and she turned into a large comet, Tiamat, and she slammed into planet X and created the belt. This is by design. The belt protects us so we don't have if we didn't have the astral belt, we could not survive on this planet, period. Okay? So she creates the astral belt, and then she comes and she becomes Earth. When she became Earth, we had 5 perfect land sizes, 5 perfect land masses that were all, they all went together. They were all perfect, right size and everything. And then mom decided she was lonely, because you do that, you get lonely. So she decides she's going to create beasts. So she creates, in 95,000 million years ago, she creates dinosaurs. Okay? No, the earth. Okay, I'm not going to go to this one. We're not going to disprove. I'm not going to say anything. All I'm going to say is right now, I'm sorry to all those whose information I have to correct. Not my fault, but it is my problem this time. I understand what the books say. I'm telling you what I witnessed, what I experienced, but I do not expect anybody to. I know 2125 loves this, pays attention. This is all for them. I'm doing all this for the future children who need me to say this, so when they come back and say it, they have something to back them up. Okay? So the dinosaurs are not natural evolution. They're Tiamat's first children. She creates them. I don't know how to explain it, but creations on this earth are through energy. Thoughts create energy. Words create energetic beings that go forward. If your words are mean and negative, then you put mean and negative energy forward into this earth. If everybody at one time, let's say at 3 p.m., everybody chose to just say, I love you at the same time, and watch how the energy of the world would change and how beautiful it would be just for 1 minute, it would be great. But that's what I'm trying to explain. So the problem with these dinosaurs is they muck things up. They actually created a Pangea. And it was a problem. A very, very problem. They were ruining the planet Earth with their dung, with everything. They were killing animals. The highest predators were the only ones left, by the way. I don't know why everybody seems to think that they all kind of know. It wasn't like that. Yes, when I came through and wiped them out, I did not wipe out every type of dinosaur. I wiped out basically one species, because that was all that was left. Okay, so we'll talk about that. All right, so I'm at home in Andromeda, and my mother calls to me, and she says, daughter of mine, like I said, love of a parent, a mother and a daughter can go beyond time. A mother and a father can go, or daughter and a father can go beyond time and space itself. And it does. So I come in as a dragon, and of course, as a comet, I come through and I wipe out the dinosaur. I wipe out the predators. Let's get this straight. So when I do that, I go through, I spend millions of years rebuilding this planet with the elements. Trees walked, clouds picked things up, everything was different. We were in a different density state Now that we're in the state we're at, trees are too dense to walk now. Clouds are too dense to come down and pick things up. The elements, the five, when Lumerian happens, when the 17 dimensions happen, they have to stop. It becomes too dense for them. Okay? The five elemental used to work together can now no longer work together. They are now separate because the densities, they are all a different density now. I know I was saying dimension before, but no, it's density. So we wipe out the dinosaurs. All the elements help rebirth the earth. This is why all our mountains have fish bones in them, because we had to dig it out of the water and put it back on the mountains. You could take Mount Everest and put it in the trench, in the Mariana Trench. You can put it there. You can physically put it there. I know, I pulled it out. So there's that. So yes, the reason why the shores of Alaska equate to the shores of America or Africa, my God, Africa, is because when we were all working together, all elements working together to clean the waters out, as one went left, we all went. So if one shoreline got it, the other shoreline got it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we worked in unity. Because unity fixes everything. The earth is amazing. She will take over. She will fix it all. She's you guys just underestimate mom. Ah, yeah, you do. Okay, so let's get back to this. So now we've been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And of course, at this point, millions of years, mom is I'm not enough for mom. Let's just say that. She's like, okay. So she invites cosmic visitors. Okay. So she's getting to a point. We've cleaned up the earth. Things are ready. The atmosphere is ready. The plants and everything. Trees are still moving. No, all the undines, because the undines help us make the pyramids. we're, okay. We're not gonna go down that road. Stick with this. Okay. So the call out goes out to the other 8 galaxies. Now, the other 8 galaxies send their archangel beings, the beings that have leveled up in those galaxies, into ours. So we have all these light beings in Lumeria. Lumeria is now what you would consider lower Earth orbit. You guys could come. I mean, you lived up in the sky, and then you would come down and enjoy the planet, but you couldn't really touch the animals. All you could do is see them because your energy would harm them. So it was, you got to enjoy and visualize, and you were there with Mother Earth, but then you really weren't. So she brings you guys in. She brings in all the light beings, which is all of who we are. It's what makes up our chromosomes. Our chromosomes give us all of the genetic ability. So in our chromosomes, there's all 9 galaxies in our chromosomes. That way, whomever galaxy your soul is, your body will still be able to resonate with it. That's how that works. Okay, and then in 75,000 BCE is the age of the giants. She went nuts with that. So she created these giants. Lumerians were watching over the giants, and the giants were doing pretty good for a while. And then the giants caused a problem because the Earth is a geode, and the giants were way bigger than the dinosaurs. Now, the dinosaurs had already started to crack the Earth. They had already started to crack the geode. But when she made the giants, she didn't consider their weight in proportionate. And when they started warring, and like there's areas of the earth that if you go, I've not seen this, but I know they exist, that it looks like a giant just grabbed the earth and just threw it. They did. Okay, so the giants started warring, and they got into it because they were quite feral. They couldn't keep their love for Mother Earth because they didn't have the intelligence of a brain and all the 17 dimensions and all that stuff. Anyway, we'll go. So they start fighting, warring, throwing things, causing problems, stomping, and they crack. They crack the earth so much, water starts leaking. So they have to go and throw land into the crack. The crack happens to be along the Atlantic Ocean. There's a big ass crack, dudes. You got to be able to see this from. You can see it from a satellite. So this crack, they put and they created the 9 islands. The 9 islands went from like the Eye of Warsaw, or whatever, the Eye of Sierra, all the way up to Ireland and over to Greenland. Greenland had a piece of it. Ireland had Gaelic Isles had a piece of it, and it it was made of all that land. And so at this point, she asked the giants. Well, I asked the giants, is for Mom, because I'm actually a steward of the earth at this point. I'm fire. I go and I tell them they need to lay down. This is why you have giant structures in stone. The giants laid down for Mom and went back to the halls of Amenti, because this is where they lived. They were the beings, they are earthlings. They are the earth beings. Don't call them reptilians. That's disgusting and wrong. Okay, earthlings are from Earth. They've went through all of theirs. They've advanced themselves up just like you did in your other galaxy, and they're here just like you. Everybody's the same. Stop with the division. I am not talking about the different galaxies for division. I'm talking about us all coming together in unity. So at this point, that didn't work. We know this. So Lemurians heal Earth. Y'all start healing Earth in 60,000 BCE. And there's nobody dying. There's no humans until 50,000 BCE, because between a 75,000 BCE and 60,000 BCE, we were dealing with giants. And then in 60,000 BCE, when Lemurians came, the Lemurians started working with the 15, the 9 galaxies, the galactic cluster leader, Divine Shigarita, the Divine Shiga, the Divine Shigarita, all 3 of them, along with the all, in order to create this 17th dimension. But in order to do this, they had to bring somebody from outside. This is where King Thoth comes in. But first, we create the 17 dimensions. So we have the 17 dimensions are locked in. Okay? Once they're locked in, the Lemurians at 50,000 BCE, once Earth has all that she needs, the whole spiral, the instinct, the emotions, the unity, the network, all this is all set up, and there's light beings that have gone to this. Then she turns around and she creates the spiral, and then the Lemurians come and walk down the spiral and got their bodies and lived on Atlantis. Yes, there was 9 islands. There was a spiral in the middle that was always going. When Atlantis falls, the spiral falls. Also, our poles are east and west. Straight up. The poles are east and west, and they are on the outside of the planet, because our east and west poles, okay. So, in order for us to walk down this spiral, we needed to have north and east. We needed to have poles, opposite poles. So we have a tesseract that has a red star that is exploding, that's contained, and a tesseract with a blue star that's imploding, that's contained. If I have them backwards, I'm sorry, I am dyslexic. So they are in the east and west on each side of the islands. Okay, I want to say one is at the Eye of Sahara, and the other one is somewhere in the Dust Bowl of America. Okay, this is where they're at. This is our north. Whatever's the opposite of the eye. I'm not going to look it up right now. I'm not saying it right, because that's not the opposite of the eye. Opposite of the eye, that's where it'd be at. So we had east and west. We were living in Atlantis, and they had just walked down, and everybody was doing this, and I'm watching. I am a flame being, and I assist them. I'm about Mother Earth. I live in the halls of Amenti, not in Lemuria. Okay, so Lemurians have done this. So the Lemurians are on the islands, but we have a problem. Okay, and that problem is, here's the 9 islands, by the way. Yes, one of the islands was named Eden. I think it's freaking hilarious that these guys, but these are the actual names. These are the names I remember because these were the nicknames we gave them, but it was crazy. So we have all these 9 islands and all these beings living on them, and then somebody dies and can't come back. They get trapped in the halls of a mentee. Oh, well, I'm in the halls of a mentee, so I come back and tell them, oh no, we've got a problem. At that point, Mother Earth calls up to the Devon Shigarita, the Devon Shiga, the Devon Sharita, and our galactic cluster, our universal cluster, and this is how this works. And so they send in King Thoth. So King Thoth is born 40,174. Now, also remember, while King Thoth is on his way here from 45,000 to 40,174, we're working on genetics and dealing with replicate, being able to get to the point where we can have children because we were infertile. We did not know this. So, or we, not we, they did not know this. They do figure this out and we work on the genetics and they do this because remember, we have 8 other galaxies that have come together here. And that means there's 8 different reproductive systems that came and they don't know what Earth's reproductive system is. They have to learn that. Once they do, then King Ptolemy has King Thoth and another royal couple has Queen Ma'at. And Queen Ma'at and King Thoth. Now King Thoth, he's the one that comes through and frees everybody in the halls of a mentee. And I remember when he was born. I remember him coming through the halls of Minty, and he picked me. He asked me to come with him. Said he thought that I would be, because of my love for my mother, Mother Earth. He thought that I would be perfect for the mission. So he calls me in, and I go. And when he is born later in life, 5,000 years, because bodies didn't die very fast. These were also 9 foot to 13 feet here in Atlantis, uh, which the atmosphere changes that in genetics. We do genetics and we do in Atlantis we begin to work with genetics. So all the different Homo sapiens and Homo whatever erotic, what all those are part of this. There was Australia and I want to say a part of South America and Mongolia. But these are the only 3 areas we could actually put they could only put well, I was alive at that point. We could only put humans because of the weather, because of the east and west poles. And remember they were moving and they were always moving. So, I'm born 5,000 years later to Queen Ma and King Thoth in order for me to study and I study in the pyramids. Now, King Thoth being born in 40,174, that brings on the Yuga cycles. That starts the first Yuga. That's Satya Yuga. So we live in Satya Yuga and people live long and we will live long again once these kids figure this out and realize the body does last. We just got to do it right. So, I mean, when you're hijacked by people who know how to destroy the bodies, this is the food we have today. Then, so Atlantis falls. Okay. We know this. We already planned this. In Atlantis, we create these submersion things because most of the people that came down. Remember, we have 9 million people on these islands. Yes. Well, 8 million. 8 million. Because there's a million Earth beings that get born as we're getting born. So, yeah, we have a total of 9 million beings. Okay. 8 million of them. 8 billion of them are in the water in an elevator that went down into the water because they can't handle the density because the planet's density is changing. Everything's changing. It's evolving. They know they're going to go through and go into the core. Atlantis, the end of Atlantis is not the death of people. It is people going inside and living in Hollow Earth and beginning Hollow Earth. So Hollow Earth needed land and water. Well, water already leaked through from the cracks from the giants. And now the crack from Atlantis goes through. And when the crack from Atlantis goes through and everybody goes down, the group of us that stay, we go up in a helium balloon and we stay up until all of it's done in east and west. When east and west move to north and south and become the north and south pole, that helps to shift the earth. And so yeah, I guess you could say there were wild stuff that went on around, I guess it's 23,974 BCE. There's never been a flood in everywhere in one time, and it's not what everybody thinks at all. So we have the Atlanteans, we have them going down, and then we have the few that stay, and then we go out and teach within our areas with the beings. He calls them hairy barbarians. Um, we have to come to the Homo sapiens, and we have to teach them, because at this point we have ended Satya Yuga. We've gone to Treta Yuga, which means that everybody born is now forgetting. So all Homo sapiens, all Homo erotus, all the homogeneous people, lost their memory of their galactic, which was their galaxy, which I guess we didn't expect it to be this bad, because this means that they lost their technical advances that they had. So we kind of had to work with them to teach them and bring them along to where they could start coming along, because that's that. And then at the end of the Treta Yuga, which is I don't know what I have that. I've got to redo that. The end of the Treta Yuga is the 10,000. I've got the dates. Oh, okay. So we worked on the pyramids. The pyramids are finished around 10,634 BCE. That's the exact date the pyramids are finished. Now, the tesseracts are finally in space. So it takes from 23,000 to 10,000 for the tesseracts to move. So a long time. But in this time, we're also building all of the pyramids everywhere all over the world, and we're using helium balloons to travel between the pyramids. No, we don't dock them out there. We actually have towers that we build to dock, because people can't walk down a pyramid very well. You don't go inside the pyramids, but that's funny. I think that is cute. I love the way people think outside the box. That's the way it takes. But y'all remember this stuff, because see, y'all remember building it. You'll remember this stuff if you remember the dates. So the pyramids are done in 10,000 BCE. And at this point, that's the end of the Treta Yuga, beginning of the Dvapa Yuga, which means we have more sorrow, more problems, more all that going on. But we still have technology. I just need to say this. We still have technology. Now, we've brought the technology to the Homo sapiens. We've given them all the knowledge of machineries, of all of it, everything back then. And then we have what I call the hijack. This is what I talk about. So, in 2194 BCE exactly, at the end of the Dvapa Yuga, which is the only time that these dudes could do this, was during the Kali Yuga. Okay? So we're only hijacked during the Kali Yuga, but that's enough for them to set up their DNA, so when they get reincarnated, they think they're going to be reincarnated into a trillionaire, which, by the way, will not happen. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. Don't worry. They may claim it by paper, but none of them have money, period. And AI is a joke, guys. It worked for a minute. I know I got a lot out of it. It did great. I was able to utilize it. Then you guys turned around and put a bunch of, I call them bastard filters on them, and there we go. You bastardize AI. Ain't no good no more. So here in 2200 BCE-ish, we have the time jump. The gazillionaires. They're cyborgs. They're grays. They build a CERN on the moon, on the dark side. They jump to the moon, and when they do this, they ruin our buildings. They tear down all the destruction of the buildings that you see on this planet today, the remnants of the ancient world, is from the CERN jump. They mess things up with the moon jump. So please, whoever thinks they're going to do it again and you're going to do it on the Earth, please don't. The reason why they didn't do the CERN on the Earth in the first place was because they wanted this connection of an alien invasion to make people divide. You got people believe in aliens, people who don't. Anything that creates division works. We are the aliens. We are the angels. We are the demons if we choose to be. It's a free will choice. So we have these cyborgs that come back, and of course, they go lay down with women, of course, because they need to inseminate their DNA into these women, so the children, so their DNA is now in this timeline. And people who wanted to kill those babies were because they knew they were the gazillionaire babies. And y'all are trying to talk about watchers. Yeah, y'all got Enoch all wrong. I know Enoch. He wouldn't be happy with what y'all say either. Anyways, so 2200 BCE. Okay, so also we are in the year 42,200. We have 13 months, 13 planets, 13 zodiacs. They have lied so tremendously about this. This is why I've created this website right here. Atlantean numerology blueprint cosmic. This is for, you could just click on it and you can print it. And this is I've got lines for you to fill this in yourself. Free. I did all this for you. Everything I do is for the children in the future because you guys know better than me. I only saw what you guys did. I didn't do it. I wasn't an Andromeda that came down the 17 spiral, which the 17 spiral is our 17 DNA. Look at UK. UK identifies us by 17 DNA, which is 16 DNA with one is the gender, which is the 17th dimension matter. It's all. It's all. We are. So matter is our universe, okay, that we can see and touch and feel, okay? But we are also the human DNA. 17 universes, 17 DNA. We are the quantum entanglement. And my problem is not per se with religious people. It's only with anything that anybody does to sow division. If religion was real, you'd know the truth. And you would know you have to work together in unity. But it's not. It's a tool. They need to use you. And then here, I've got, oh, that's my YouTube channel that I'm going to upload this to explain to you guys. This just explains we have 5 directions. Why nobody talks about center. No other direction exists without center. That's a fact. Each one of the 5 directions also go with part of the 5 phases of life. The 5 phases of the moon. There's a lot of 5s here. 7, here you break down all your 7s. 9, I talk about the 9 galactic galaxies, including Earth, Milky Way. The 11 Rudras. I don't even understand this. I just know this is what they are, but there's going to be kids who fully understand that and need this to go forward with their stuff. We've got the 13 plants, the 13 zodiacs, which here's the 13 zodiacs. Here's the 13 planets and zodiacs and the dates that they're supposed to be. We're supposed to have 28 days a month. We're supposed to have 13 months. And we're supposed to take 1 day a year about Earth. Acknowledge how her and the sun are giving us life. Without them, we don't have life, not God. By the way, prayers in God. Oh, y'all are driving me crazy on this. What, do you think that the Continuum has nothing better to do but sit around and wait for you to complain and beg them to fix your situations on Earth when they're the ones that are going, you signed up for this. You said you could do this, and now you want me to come in and fix this? This is how this works. So we can't be doing that. And then we got the 15-point chakra, which I have this backwards. This, I guess if you go from the earth, You've got the source, the all. Then you got the Divan Shigarita, the Divan Shiga, the Divan Sharita, the Divine Pymander, Lord Ardal, Lord Samveta, Lord Urthal, Lord Goriana, Lord Untanas, Lord Cortus, Lord Elyon, Lord Omnia, Lord Chinkto, and King Thoth of Earth. All they are is just the beings that are connected to each one of these things that are connected to the energy that leads to the all. That's all. It's about love. It's all this is. The love everybody has for us so we can be this. And we have the audacity to hate and be angry. No, love, love, densities, lighten up. 17, here's a 17 DNA. I just went through that. The 19 sacred flames. Yeah. I've gone through and there's 21 levels of density. Here's what I talk about. The lightest one being unconditional love. I came to this planet with unconditional love. I stay with unconditional love. When I am done with my time here, because I've given up my free will, I'm living by duty now, and I'm doing my duty. I'm making this video even though I don't want to, but they want me to. Last night they explain to me how I need to show people how all this is just about love and unity and love and help. All my information is not to divide and argue. It's just to show you that this is the truth. My website, Truth Vibes, this has it all. Let me go and show you. Oh, I was going to show you the 49 cents beings, which are every single one of these beings are connected to us. Here we have, this is where our evil choices come from, because we have oh, wrong one. Yeah, 16, nope, wrong one. We're the one that has the archons. 16 dark lords, 16 light lords, and archons. This is what gives you free will. This is our free will. So if you choose bad, then you choose to align with them. That's your decision. But nothing's out there innately evil. Okay? And then we have 7 sense beings with 7 senses, and there they are. Now, I told you I have a free tarot. I do. It's right here. Just go on, just click the cards, and they just give it to you. Now, know that the tarot was written for me, directly for me, but that's okay. We're all children of Earth. So it's going to work for you too. So regardless of who were my parents, or who I was in my last incarnation, have no bearing on this incarnation. I suffer. I am in so much pain. To all parents who just say, "Oh, it's civil rivalry, let them do it." Don't let your kids hit each other. I live in pain at the age of almost 60 because of all the abuse I endured under the age of 5. The shaking, the hitting, the punching. My body got slammed around. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I've endured a lot. So now I live in a lot of pain for it. But I don't see the pain as a problem. I love my pain. It's telling me, and I'm right there with it. Yeah, bud, I'm right there with you. I feel you. And then I do things to relax my body and do right by my body. We have to do right by us at this point. If you don't love yourself, nobody else can love you. And you need to love yourself so you can lighten up. You need to love others so you can teach them to lighten up. Pay it forward. Love all beings. I love you so you can love yourself. I suffered so I can sit here and say, no matter what you suffer, we can still sit here and say, I fucking love you anyways. I don't like what you do. I won't have anything to do with you, but I fucking love you as a human being. Straight up. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Take it or leave it. That's on you. It is my duty. Yes. But it is my drive to give love. I love loving everybody. And I think it's addictive. I think once you get to loving people and you start seeing how they love you back, and you start seeing that interaction with even strangers, when a stranger smiles, I'm so happy. If I'm at your checkout and you want to be grumpy bumps, I'm not leaving till you smile, and I'll act as goofy as I gotta be. In fact, if I gotta give my husband a fart, I will. If I gotta make you smile, I'm gonna make you smile. This is about helping this world get out of this wretchedness. I am almost at an hour. I didn't want to make this video. We've made this video. I've gone through it all. If you need tarots, go. You have to push the button yourself for it to be for you. That's why I'm not pushing it. That's not going to give you tarot for you. No, I can't read your energy through this line. No, Reiki is wrong. No, all these things that cost money. You don't need crystals. You don't need things. You need you. You need to love you. You need to love all that you have around you. You need to love all beings. And one of these days, everything that I have basically been accumulating through the years, I can't wait till I have property and space to share with everybody. Because that's my goal. I want to share. If Christianity and religion was real, they'd be saying the same damn things I'm saying. But it's not. It's control. I love you. I just want you to wake up. I'm only here to save souls. I love you. It's my duty to save souls.